and welcome to the Best of Five podcast. We're your hosts, Claire and Grace. Join us as we shine a light on NCAA women's college volleyball. This week, we anticipate the upcoming tournament, talk all things setting and setters, and prep for another great weekend of volleyball. Let's dive in.
Right now is my favorite time of this. Well, I love the tournament, but it does stress me out. There's always a loser and their season's done. That stresses me out. And this year we have really seen amazing teams.
Yes. In all conferences, at all levels, there are some really crazy talented teams.
Yes.
And I really wish that volleyball would be all year.
I know.
And that all of these teams would get the recognition they deserve.
Right.
I was thinking it is tourney time and there is that electricity in the air, dare I say.
Right.
Because, the stakes are a little higher. You win or go home. And there are crazy upsets and ups and downs for different teams. And I think it's so exciting, but it's also very final.
Right. Which is hard.
Yes. And it just proposes a new era for teams, for players, for coaches.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of changes that come postseason.
Right. And I think it's been kind of fun, even if a team doesn't upset the opponent they're playing, taking a set from a top 10 team or making that team work has been super cool as a viewer to watch.
Right. Yes. And that's the perfect segue into some of the games that we saw over the weekend. I wrote down a few 4-setter games that some lower ranked or unranked teams took a set from higher ranked opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And Nebraska had 2 of these over the weekend. They played Nebraska, number 1, played Northwestern.
Yes.
And Northwestern took a set 3-1. And also Nebraska played Illinois, and Illinois took a set, so the final score was 3-1.
Wow.
I know. I miss the days where Illinois was fierce.
Okay, so we're going to break down a position, and this week we're going to talk about setters.
Right.
And I just want to say one of the setters that I wrote down to talk about is Jordan Poulter from Illinois, and she is so fierce. And I think that helped Illinois as a whole to be fierce. Yeah.
She's a fierce competitor. She has a fierce attitude.
She's so offensive and defensive. She is an epic blocker. It's crazy.
Right. And her volleyball IQ and the way she sees the court is iconic.
Exactly. And to put Illinois, they've had some great players like Michelle Barch-Hackley played at Illinois.
Definitely.
But for Jordan to step in for the USA team and set for them, that's amazing.
Yes, it truly is. And it just goes to show you how much of being a setter comes down to leadership and grit and vision, I think.
Yes.
And Jordan Poulter has all of those things.
Exactly. And that's when Coach Kevin Hambly was at Illinois as well.
Right. Right. One of our faves.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I could have touched him at the 18s Nationals.
Oh my God. I did touch him.
Oh my gosh.
My senior year of high school, I saw him at Colorado, the tournament there. He was so sweet, and I was so nervous, and I was like, "Can you tell Catherine Plummer I said hi?" And he giggled. It was kind of sweet.
That's so sweet. I hope he's listening, and I hope he doesn't find this creepy because, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's self-explanatory.
Yeah, no, all love here, no creep.
Right, right. But something I wanted to add about setters
Yes.
is I think that at least one of the first things that I look for in setters
Right.
is good hands,
Yep.
but I think more importantly, fast feet.
Ayo.
Ayo, fast feet.
Yeah. Because honestly, having naturally good hands is great. But
Right.
I'd rather have someone with quick feet and
Yes.
teach the good hands.
No, exactly. Because as long as they get their feet there and they're balanced and
Yeah.
square to where they want the ball to go,
Right.
like your hands will do the work.
Right. I like what you said earlier about leadership because I think setters, it's so cliche that, oh, like you're a setter, you have to be the leader of the team, take
Right.
control of the court, which there's a part of that that I do agree with. But
Yes.
I don't need them to be a nutcase. Like,
No.
no, no. Like,
Yeah, please no, actually.
yeah, I don't need you to be a nutcase. I don't need you to be manic, and I also don't need you to
No.
be cranky. Like, I
Right.
I think a good leader is emotionally stable.
Right.
Not saying on the court. I don't like. Yeah, you can have your emotions off the court. You
Yeah,
don't have to be
exactly.
stable necessarily. Like that's a lot to ask. But on the court, and that doesn't mean that you're not fierce. You can cheer loud and you can get intense but like that manic energy that's I think sometimes setters think they have to have to be a quote
Yes.
unquote leader. Not for me. That would shut me down.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that a setter has to be a leader because they're the quarterback. They're
Right.
touching the ball every single rally.
Right.
Um, and I think you're so right when setters can't be overly dramatic or emotional.
Right.
And I think you see that with a lot of setters that are setting right now.
Yeah.
I think of Mac Pedraza.
Yes. I was
She does
just
not
thinking of
get
her.
overly emotional either way, happy
Right.
or sad
Right.
slash mad.
Right. Right.
She's pretty level-headed. Cami
Yes.
Minor from
Yes.
Stanford.
Yes. Very
She is
level.
yes, she is very level. And obviously, they get hype
Yes.
when good things happen and they get frustrated when bad things happen, but they're so level-headed and I think they take on a lot of the team's energy.
Yes. Which I think can be overwhelming, especially bouncing back to like that high school or junior high level. I think at the lower level, and lower meaning like early level of
Right.
play, I think there is a little leeway. Any position can kind of take on that leadership role. But I think when you get to the higher level, it just makes sense for the setter to have that role. Like you said, like
Definitely.
they're controlling the offense.
Yes, exactly. Setters have to carry a heavier load because they run the whole offense. So I think in turn, they also carry a heavier load emotionally.
Right, right. Yeah. One of the points that I wrote down, just from a
Mhm.
middle perspective, I always enjoyed playing with setters that made me feel safe and showed that they trusted me. Like,
Right.
especially as a middle, you can kind of tell when a setter doesn't really trust you and doesn't have faith in you
Yes.
because, well, you're not getting the ball as much anyway. And so, so if there is opportunity for you to get the ball and you're not getting it, that like definitely is a nonverbal way of communicating that.
Right. Yes. And you
But
feel that on the court.
right. Yeah, yeah. And so having a setter that like shows that trust and meaning like can set me on the 10-foot line
Right. Exactly.
or I get blocked and they set me right again. Like those are things that like show me that they trust me, which in turn makes me want to work hard for them, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think a setter who does that or who did that in the past was Sydney Hilly from Wisconsin.
Yes.
I think what was cool about her role for the Badgers was she had, like, really big shoes to fill with Lauren Carlini, like,
Definitely.
graduating, but I felt like she stepped into her own shoes,
Yes.
which was really cool to watch. But you could just tell every position, and, we don't know everything. We just see
Of
what's on
course.
TV. But from what I could see, like, she, like, had trust in all of her hitters, which
Yes.
made her harder to defend because there wasn't, like, one particular player that she always went to
100%.
or a play that she always went for. Like, I felt like she trusted everybody, which was,
Yes.
made her so fierce.
Right. And it just goes to show how she was a very selfless player. She didn't really need attention, but like to have full faith in your teammates, I think that's what a setter needs is to fully trust in your teammates. You have to fully trust in yourself and your
Right,
abilities.
right.
And I think Sydney Hilly had that. And that is
Yeah.
and it's something that I have only really gained like now after being a coach and
Mhm.
sort of seeing the game and really watching it and being able to just see things at a faster pace than I have in the past.
Right,
And I think what girls and what we should teach girls is like to have faith in themselves.
right.
Because if they have faith in themselves, then they can have faith in their teammates. And that's really all you need to be
Yeah.
successful.
And I think the faith, well, you are the only thing you can 100% control. So
Right.
that kind of takes the load off of a setter, I feel, especially you feel like you're in charge of everyone,
Definitely.
especially the offense. But if you stay in your lane a little and just focus on, like, okay, like, I have faith that I can put up a hittable ball,
Yes.
like, and then, like you said, like, if I'm consistent, like, they will eventually get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, control the controllables, and, like,
Yeah.
something that you can control is the location of your sets. Um, but one current setter that I really love right now, her name is Izzy Shulshevsky.
Bless you.
Yeah. Thank you. She is the setter for K-State, Kansas State, who just on Friday swept number 3 Texas.
Wow.
Yes, unranked team swept Texas. I watched the match, and when I tell you it was lit, it was lit.
I'll believe you.
Yeah, like Kansas State, they had a new facility built last year, and it is like the perfect facility for volleyball matches. Their crowd was lit, and so was their play. Like their
Wow.
setter, Izzy,
Yeah.
she's a junior transfer from Oregon State. She's
Wow.
5'7", and they just started using a 5'1" instead of a 6'2". So she plays the whole way around.
Okay, I'm just gonna read to the crowd what you wrote in your notes about Izzy.
Okay.
Izzy
Yeah.
was a beast, ran an incredible offense, and blocked like a mother, attacked like she was 6'7", and served aggressive. New fave player alert. Boom.
Boom, mic drop. I mean everything I wrote.
Yeah, that's amazing. Also, you wrote about Liz Gregos,
Oh, yes.
who played at Wisconsin. I followed her on Instagram because she's an Instagram baddie,
Yes.
like, yeah. And, like, when she played at Wisconsin, and I was curious about her decision to play at Kansas State,
Right.
but I'm glad she's playing well, you said.
Same. Yeah. I was listening to the announcers in the game, and apparently she was used mostly as a defensive specialist
Wow.
the majority of the season thus far, but
Yeah.
their right side got hurt last weekend.
Okay.
And so she stepped in to fill her shoes, and she was solid. She had some great swings off high hands,
Yeah.
and she blocked pretty well, and for the most part was solid defensively. They did have at points one of the former setters in the 6-2, she would go in and play right back defense because they wanted a more defensive player. But she slayed, and I was very happy for her. And I also did some digging on social media, and it looks like she was a Wisconsin native and absolutely adores Wisconsin.
Yes.
And I love that for her. Go Badgers. But I am happy that she's like getting her time to shine at Kansas State
Yes.
and, doing some really great work.
Yeah. Badger up. And also,
Yes.
I will say my family's been a huge fan of Wisconsin volleyball because of the players on like social
Right.
media. All of them are hilarious.
Yes, they are.
Shout out Molly Haggerty. Shout out
Work.
Grace. What was her last name?
Loberg.
Grace Gold. What is it?
Loberg.
I said Goldberg. Anyway, Grace Loberg, and shout out Low Your Bow, Lauren.
Yes.
They're so freaking funny. But all of those players commented on Liz's posts and hyped her up. They
Oh,
always hype each other up,
yeah.
which I think is so cute. And her name is not Morgan Barnes. It's
Oh, it's
Lauren
Lauren
Barnes
Barnes.
and Emmy Dodge. And those are the players I'm confusing. They
Oh,
both play for
right.
Wisconsin, but Emmy Dodge just got married, and all of the girls
Oh,
were
wait,
at
I
the
did.
wedding.
Oh, yeah, I saw those pictures. They were
Yeah,
so
so like
sweet.
that's sweet, you know?
Yeah, and it helps you get to know them better.
Yes.
And I love that.
Good job,
But one
Liz.
more thing, I have one more thing about the Kansas State game is I wanted to highlight Aaliyah Carter, the
Oh,
K-State
yes.
outside hitter. Okay,
Yes.
she popped off. She had 20 kills and she had 14 of them within a set and a half.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it was insane. It was ridiculous. Front row, back row didn't matter. She grinded. So yeah, I love K-State and my new favorite setter is on there.
That's awesome.
Give me your setters.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. Obviously, which hold on. I have another point about setters, which I will just wrap it up. But I think what you were talking about with Aaliyah is that her getting so many kills in the first set and a half. And then obviously 20 kills is amazing, but then she got fewer in the third. I think that shows that the setter did a good job spreading the offense out.
Yes.
One of my points was I like a setter who spreads out the offense, but also feeds the players that are on fire. So obviously, like
Definitely.
Aaliyah was unstoppable and on fire in the first set and a half. And I love how the setter fed her and
Yeah,
also saw opportunity to spread it out. So I just love that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like go with your hot hitter until they're not hot anymore
Right.
and then work to spread it out. And I think, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really great example and like a very big characteristic in a successful setter.
Exactly. So a setter who I think really did that well is Nicklin Hames from Nebraska, obviously.
Yes,
She's a
work.
crowd favorite. I think she just did a really good job of spreading the offense out, and she was really gritty herself, which was cool to
Yes.
watch.
And her defense was ridiculous.
And defense, I have that under the characteristics. Defense is a huge part of being a setter. Like, I
It
don't care what
really
you say.
is.
Because, like, thinking from a middle perspective, we're taught to hit to our left to get the setter out of
Yes,
play. Defensively, she's incredible. And I also put for her that she's a really heads-up player and, like,
definitely.
can make big
Yeah.
plays, which is
Yeah,
fun.
and she saw the court very well.
So well. So well. And then I had Jenna Gray for Stanford.
Yes.
I was thinking, I was like, okay, was she like really that good, or were the players around her just really great? But then I'm like, no, like she was fab. She was really good.
She was really, really good and like a freak athlete.
Yes.
She's an NCAA champion in javelin too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
it's wild the amount of national championships she has.
yeah, she's incredible. And all of these setters like have different styles, but I feel like their core skills that we highlight are the same. She seemed like a great leader. She didn't seem
Yes.
manic. Defensively, she was really smart and
Yes.
fed the hit. She fed Catherine Plummer until Adriana Fitzmaurice went off. She just spread it out nicely.
She really did. And one setter that I have in mind that fits
Yeah.
all of those is Tori Dilfer.
Yes.
When I tell you, I love Tori Dilfer and the offense that she ran at Louisville.
Man.
Man, do I love it.
So good. So good.
So good. Legendary. And she built or helped build that Louisville program.
I 100% agree with that.
Yes, and I love her story. She had one D1 offer coming out of high school, went to TCU.
Yes.
And found her way to Louisville or Louisville. Whatever. Go Cardinals. And she brought them into national prominence.
Yeah.
I think she was the setter when they upset Texas in the tournament.
On mine, I have Jenna Gabriel from Texas.
Oh
and
my
I
God,
know,
yes.
like, her style of play, I think that would have scared me to play
Yes.
with her. But I respect her style so much, and it works at Texas. It worked with those players.
For sure.
And all I think about when I think of Jenna Gabriel is compete. She was such a
Oh
competitor
my gosh.
and so fearless and did anything to win, which I really respect, and it was fun to watch.
Yes. Yeah, you could tell that she knew she wasn't because she obviously wasn't the tallest and
Right.
she wasn't the most physical, but her will to win and her grittiness just propelled her onto the court.
So good. Yeah. The
Oh,
last
go
setter I
ahead.
had was, this is like a throwback, but and I don't even know if you'll know her, but her name is Noreen Iosia from Hawaii. And
Oh,
I was
okay. I
obsessed
don't
with
remember
Hawaii.
her.
I was obsessed with Hawaii in high school. I would watch their games every night to like fall asleep.
I love that.
It was like your Sound of Music.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So Hills Are Alive with Noreen, and she was very similar to Jenna Gabriel, but less emotional that you could
Okay.
see. She was very stoic, but
Oh,
so
cool.
so competitive and so fierce, and her defense was crazy. But she was shorter, undersized, but like
Yes,
she played lights out 100% of the time. Like, it was so
that's
good.
awesome.
Yeah, and she was short, and she played all the way around. She defended like crazy, blocked like crazy, attacked like crazy. And I don't think her hands were that good, but like her feet
Yeah.
were good, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all you really need.
Yes.
Good feet. Prioritize your feet when you're setting.
Yes. Hashtag feet pics.
Yes. So I listed a few current setters that
Yay. Yeah.
I really like. So the first one was Izzy Shulshevsky
Yeah.
from K-State, and I already went over why I love her, but I wanted to add that not only is she like 5'7" and a beast setter, but she's a beast attacker and would turn and swung on a few balls, and it was amazing to see her confidence in her attacking skills. Beautiful. And I think that's also an important characteristic of a setter is if you're gonna play 6 rotations, you have to be offensive in some way, shape, or form.
100%.
One setter that I really like is from Oregon. Her name's Hannah Pukas. Tough name, but she's a baller setter. And what she does that's unconventional or uncharacteristic of traditional volleyball is she runs a crazy fast offense.
Ooh.
And she does it when she's in system and she does it when she's out of system. It really does not matter. And it's really fun to see. They did it against Stanford this weekend. They took Stanford to 5 sets. They went down.
Wow.
Yeah, went down 0-2 and battled back. And part of the reason why they were able to battle with the now number 2 team in the country is their fast offense. They were getting one-on-one blocks and they were taking rips. Morgan Lewis, their right side, she took some Kendall Kipp-esque swings.
Oh my God, I love Kendall Kipp swings.
Yes. like swings that went straight down, cross court. It was really fun. They were finding holes in the block. So yeah, kudos to Hannah Pukis because she runs a really great offense at Oregon, and I know for at least this is her second season that I've seen. She took the Ducks to the Elite Eight last year.
Wow.
So I wish them luck, and I think they'll do well in the tournament. And then the other setter that I really love is Cameron Hayworth from Indiana.
Ooh, yeah.
She really reminds me of Micah Hancock, the
Okay,
setter
yes.
from Penn State who now plays on the national team, because she's left-handed. She turns and attacks on two when she's front row, lefty swing, and she has a lefty topspin serve, which is very successful, and I think she's the ace leader in the Big Ten and at Indiana.
Wow.
And she's just one of those players that has a calming presence on the court, spreads the offense out, trusts her hitters, and plays really great defense and is a very offensive and big threat.
Very nice. What year is she? Do you know?
She's a junior, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so she has another year. But Indiana has had some losses recently. The one that I have from this weekend written down is they took Minnesota to 5, but weren't able to finish, so lost to the Gophers 3-2.
Well, they have some great wins under their belt.
They do. They do. I just think their chances of making the tournament are getting lower, which sucks.
That's sad. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, I guess?
You mentioned about Oregon doing well. Like, they always thrive in the tournament.
They do.
They
They
always
really
pop
do.
off.
Yeah, I think their coach does a really great job of like preparing them for big moments, because he talks a lot about we have to get comfortable making the uncomfortable swings, because in big moments those are the ones that are going to be successful.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, love that. And then speaking of great setting, number 2 Wisconsin played number 19 Penn State. Penn State
Yes.
upset them 3-1. And talk about good balanced setting. Mac Pedraza.
Thank God.
Thank God.
She played so well.
She really did. And she spread the offense out so well. Penn State was on and balanced, which is what they need. Cameron Hanna was the kills leader with 19. Jess Merzick had 16 and Zoe Weatherington had 10.
My mom would like me to shout out that when I played Zoe Weatherington in high school, she sat next to Zoe's mom, and Zoe's mom coaches for UNC Charlotte volleyball. And my mother would like to say that her mother was lovely and a great sport and just was so proud of her daughter, but not in like a mean way. Like, obviously, Zoe was a shining star among us D3 celebrities, but they're both so like humble and nice, which is cool to see her.
To hear.
Yeah, it's cool to see her doing well. She to be benched and then to be like put back in, like she's doing really well.
Yeah, and you can really tell that she is very happy and very thankful to be playing.
Yes, yeah.
And that really shines through.
I watched the Wisconsin Penn State game.
Yes.
And I think you're right. Like, you can tell when a player has gratitude for the game.
Definitely.
And it's super fun to watch, and I'm guessing it's fun to play with.
Definitely. And a Penn State player who has that is Cameron Hanna. Just like watching her play, she plays with such joy and she just takes big swings, and you can see that she trusts herself in big moments, which is so awesome. And she did the post-game interview after the win, and she was smiling ear to ear and could not stop raving about her teammates and how they are the reason that they were able to pull off the upset. And it was just really sweet, and you could tell that she was a really great teammate and was just really thankful for the opportunity. Yeah.
I really applaud Coach Katie from Penn State.
Same.
I think she's doing a really good job of building that rapport with her players and
For
like
sure.
encouraging that amongst themselves. I think she does a really good job of coaching during a game, but also letting them work through it as a team, which is
Exactly.
cool. I
Yes.
think that's fun.
Yeah, going back to she trusts her players.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, she trusts them to get the job done, and that's really great because sometimes you don't see that.
yeah. But she's also there to support.
Definitely.
And obviously, disclaimer. I feel like we disclaim this every episode.
Right.
We don't know how coaches are at practice, and players have a different perspective. But from a viewing standpoint, I really like the way she coaches during games.
It seems like Coach Katie's building a program that will attract a lot of different styles of
Yes.
people, but
Yeah.
also all styles of good people and good
Yeah.
volleyball players and people who want to create a great competitive but also safe environment.
Yeah. I hope Penn State does well in the tournament. I think they can do it.
Me too. I'm really rooting for them. I always do. They will be going far in my bracket, and hopefully, I'm hoping that they'll be in the top 16 so they'll be able to host.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I would love that. So Pitt swept Georgia Tech
Wow.
on Friday, really handled them nicely. I caught the last set. I was at work for the first two, but Georgia Tech just didn't have an answer because Pitt was playing so well. Olivia Babcock had 15 kills, no errors. Unreal. Emma Monk had 6 kills, no errors. Wild. Wild. She's a grad transfer from Michigan State who didn't get playing time until Brie Kelly had her injury.
Mm.
And you can just see the joy and the gratitude that she has that she's playing, and that really has been showing in her performance. You know, she's been playing lights out and really stepped up for the Pitt Panthers.
Yeah.
And as a team, they hit 455.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, so that was a crazy ACC rivalry, and there's another one this Saturday. Pitt plays Louisville
Yeah,
at the
I wish
Peterson
it was
Event
at
Center.
Pitt. I would love to see Danny in person.
Same, DBK.
DBK, what's up,
DBK, what's
DBK?
up? I love Louisville's middles, Kara Cressy and PK Kong,
Oh yeah,
and Elena Scott. I love that girl.
Elena Scott. I can't believe she's still there.
I
Like
know.
slay, but like I feel like she's been there forever.
Right. And speaking of like positions, when we talk about
Yes.
liberos, she's top of my list.
Oh yeah. Be one of my favorites.
Yeah, she's really one of my favorites. I love her. And I think she's so dynamic and again, just like a really calming, competitive person.
Yes. I think we'll see a lot of similarities between libero and setter
Definitely.
characteristics.
Yeah, you're so right because they probably do at the end of the day have the most contacts on the ball.
Oh yeah, because if a setter takes first ball, normally libero is there.
No, exactly. And if the setter doesn't take first ball, it's normally the libero.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there was a lot of great volleyball over the weekend, like always. I think teams are playing their best volleyball right now. We're getting into the tourney time and into the end of the season, so they've been working together for a long time. And so coming up this week on the 15th, so Wednesday, Iowa State's playing number 5 Texas, which I
Wow.
think will be pretty good just because Texas is on their heels right now and Iowa State has previously been ranked and they just took number 14 Kansas to 5.
Wow.
Yep. Number 23 Baylor plays 17 Kansas, now 17 Kansas.
Exciting.
Yep. 21 Houston plays TCU, and TCU just had an upset over the weekend. They beat Baylor 3-2.
Wow.
So, and
I
they've
need to
also
watch more Baylor. I haven't watched
yes,
Big
I do
Ten.
too. They're a team that goes under the radar for me and can sneak up on me.
Oh, every year in the tournament they sneak up.
Yes. I miss Asiana Presley.
Oh my God, I miss her too. What is she doing?
I don't know. I hope she's playing professional
Me
because
too, bud.
she's so powerful. Okay, and then also on Wednesday, Ohio State plays Illinois. I thought that would be a pretty evenly matched game.
Yes. Yeah,
And
that will be good,
yeah,
honestly.
definitely. I think it'll be great and a great display of Big Ten volleyball.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Yay.
yay. And then, so that was Wednesday. And then on Friday, 17th, number 3 Wisconsin plays number 16 Purdue.
Slay.
Yes, I am hyped for that game because now that Penn State beat Wisconsin and Nebraska did, I think teams that can give teams confidence. And I think all Purdue really needs to do is spread out their offense, and I think they could take Wisconsin.
Yep. And honestly, like you said, you got this, Purdue. I really believe
Exactly.
in you.
They got it. Yeah. But I also, kudos to Wisconsin. They're very good and very dynamic. And Anna Schreck did not
Yeah.
travel with them over the weekend.
Orzo, I thought she did a good job.
She did. I thought she brought a lot of energy. I thought she did her job. She hit high hands. She found spots on the court.
She hit some bangers too. Like she
Yes.
ripped.
Yes. I love her. She is one of my favorite players.
Yeah, she's really fun to watch.
Yes. And I enjoy her as a libero, but I do just love getting to see her play 6 rotations or 6 positions.
Yes, clicks.
Yes, 6 clicks, exactly. Also on Friday, number 6 Oregon plays 18 Arizona State. Number 17 Kansas plays 13 BYU. I need to
Oh,
watch that game because I need to see more of Kansas and I need to see more of BYU.
okay, yeah, me too.
14 Penn State plays Michigan State. And even though Michigan State is not ranked, this game's going to be interesting because Michigan State beat Penn State 3-2.
Wow.
Yeah, last time they played. So I'm interested to see how this one will go.
Yeah, that'll be
Uh,
dope.
Maryland plays Indiana on Friday. That'll be another great Big Ten match.
Okay.
And then Saturday is the big day in Pittsburgh. Number 4 Louisville comes to the Peterson Event Center to play
Wow.
the Pitt Panthers. And also Ohio State plays Minnesota that day.
Okay, this is gonna we're really getting down to it.
We really are, and these games are very meaningful going forward.
Yeah.
When it comes to RPI, when it comes to making the tournament, when it
Yeah.
comes to conference rankings.
Yeah.
Yep, and then we round out the weekend on Sunday with number 2 Stanford playing 24 USC.
Okay.
Yes, I love USC because of Skylar Fields.
Yeah. Get it,
I
girl.
think she is so good.
I think I'm gonna wait to watch USC and UCLA until they join Big Ten, and then I'll invest.
Definitely, definitely. And then 2 more games on Sunday. We have number 3 Wisconsin playing Indiana. And this game I'm really interested in watching is number 10 Arkansas versus number 20 Florida.
Wow. Florida, it's hard not to be a little sad for them.
I know. I think what's helped me is I watched them. I forget who they were playing, but they're trying very hard. And it looks like they're having fun. So I think that's
Right.
all that matters. The effort is there and the wins and the losses are gonna come.
Yep. You're right.
Yeah, but it is hard because you can shoulda, coulda, woulda
Yeah. All the way home.
all the way home, all night long. But I do want to see Arkansas play because I haven't
Yeah, me
watched them.
too.
I haven't watched them play much, and I mean, they are in the top 10, and they have that really good outside hitter.
Yeah, and they take on their opponent really well.
They really do. Definitely tell that they train hard.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so maybe while we watch this weekend, all of these matches, we can keep in mind the libero position.
Yes, for sure.
And we can take some notes on liberos and then talk about characteristics and maybe past liberos that we like.
Exactly. I love that idea. Okay, do you want to do the bump in your spike before we close?
Yes. Okay, what did we decide? The bump was good or was bad?
Bump was bad, spike is good.
Okay. Okay.
I know.
Okay, let me think. I'm gonna start with my spike. And I actually really happy for Penn State.
Yay, yeah.
And I think that was like a huge win for them that will help them be more dominant in the tournament.
Definitely.
And then my bump, I think that everybody in the world could work on communication.
Yes.
And I've had a hard time communicating with certain people. And this isn't even shady, but I'm just saying, even at like Sheets
Right.
with the cashier, okay, can we just be specific, but also make sense? Anyway, I think communicating, I've felt a little bit off with that this
Yeah,
week.
and that can be hard because you have to do it day in and day out.
Preach.
Yeah. Okay, my bump today is that it's the state semifinals and Freeport's not playing in it, and that makes me sad and mad because I love Freeport volleyball and I love the work that the girls and the coaching staff put in and day out. And I
Yeah.
just honestly miss going to practice too because I love practice. Okay, so that's my bump and my spike. My spike was doing the podcast today.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, we had great conversation. We talked about really great volleyball and it really lifted my spirits.
Yay!
Yeah, for
I think my
sure.
other spike, my like spike and a half,
Yeah.
like you wrote in your notes, volleyball's really picking up,
Yes.
and I'm just excited for the
Same.
games ahead.
Yeah, it's really beautiful and it's really exciting and we're going to the national championship.
Woo!
Woo!
Should we do a meetup
Yes,
with
definitely.
Coach Katie who follows us?
Oh my god, please,
And
girl. I
Taylor
love
Trimble.
you. Yeah, I've decided like she's my volleyball coaching idol.
Yeah.
I have a few others like DBK and Mary Wise, but right now she's my number one.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Best of 5 podcast. Please like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Come back next week as we continue to shine a light on NCAA women's college volleyball. Why is volleyball the best sport? Because it's the best of 5.